Good day, neighbor. Today we are doing a garage vlog here at Hardware HQ. Hardware Headquarters. Hardquarters. Today we are going to be doing an idle air control valve replacement on my ZJ, and we're going to do a couple things here in the garage to get started with that. No matter what you do, no matter how nice you wrap these up, they're always tied in a knot. I've seen all your dang TikTok tricks. They're not true. They don't work. All my guitar friends are losing their minds right now watching me wrap this extension cord up. No! That's how we wrap them up. This guy will probably be getting to in another video. I also got another one of these guys in the shed. Stay tuned for snowblower content. He didn't want to be a part of it anyways. There we go. That is what a clean headquarters looks like. Now let's get the ZJ pulled in here. This is how broken my garbage can is.
It's broken!
A big thing you might notice on this that has changed since I originally showed this to you back in the winter time is it is now black. It is all one color. This was like a light forest green that the previous owner did. The rest of this was green. And then even if we look right here, this door was red. I put that door on. This thing had about 15 problems with just the single door. So it's easier just to put a new one on there. Let me show you what I painted this thing with. If you are on my Instagram, then you know I've already hummed and hawed about how great this Herculiner is. Getting this whole Jeep covered only took, I think it was 7 cans. But yeah, this stuff lays down smooth. Look at that. That is smooth. And that's why we like it. So I think I found a new favorite truck bed liner. And this is it. Shout out to Herculiner. That's good stuff. So I'll explain the symptoms that I got going on with this thing and why I'm actually doing the idle air control valve. If I let this thing sit for 1-2 days or so, then I get in and start it and the idle just falls flat on its face every time, just whoomp, whoomp. And I know it's not the notorious crank sensor or the cam sensor on this because the crank sensor was done. Originally when I first got this, it wasn't running quite right and it would just shut down and die while I was driving down the road. So I did the crank sensor, that wasn't it, and then I ended up doing the pickup coil and the distributor on here, and that actually, I didn't realize, acts as the cam sensor on these 5.2 liters, so that fixed it. But still, this whole time, it's always just start it, and then it falls flat. And then you have to sit there with your foot on the gas, and then it's almost like the thing just has to relearn the idle on there to actually get it where it should be. Trick that I found out on one of the forums. This was one of these old forum posts that actually worked out. You know, an 18-year-old forum post where another guy had the same problem, and if he just held his foot on the brake and the gas and cycled through the gears, he could force it to maintain an idle. And after I do that, now it sticks there. And after this guy on the forum replaces idle air control valve, it quit doing it. So I'm hoping that's my answer, and that's what we're going to do to replace it. What I didn't catch is as I was pulling this in the driveway, how I was in the middle of the road and went, ugh, and it did the thing again on me. Yeah, probably about time we get this thing replaced. So with that being said, let's get it done. I've been putting off doing this because by the time it's late, I want to go to bed, and when I get home from work, this thing is hot. And I don't want to work on a hot car that bad. So it's cooled off for like 4 hours. I think we'll be good now. Alright, so step 1, take that off. These freaking factory air boxes are a joke. I gotta find a workaround for that. And I should just get a socket, but I'll just take this nut off of our air cleaner here with the pliers. Let's get that started. Should be able to unscrew it with your fingers. I always have. Not right now. Hey, there we go. One thing you want to watch, this has got a seal that goes around here. I don't even want to pull it off. But make sure you keep the seal either in here or leave it on that throttle body right there, because it will go missing, then it will run like crap and you'll be sad. So here on the back side, this is where your actual valve sits. It's going to be this guy right here. It's got two Phillips heads that hold that in, and then this electrical connector on the back just comes out like any old electrical connector. So let's get that done. So a smart thing to do would be disconnecting your battery before you take this sensor out, but I'm not going to do that. I think this vehicle is just old enough, it ain't going to be too picky. So we'll undo that guy. All right, turns out I lied to you. Just a little Allen head. So it's been a while, but I did take this out and actually clean it off a good while ago, just to be sure that it wasn't going to be just that quick and easy of a replacement. Straight up, I will say it was a lot better for a while there. It seemed to work a lot better. But still falling flat on its face about as consistently as it is, so I think it's probably just time that this valve goes to heaven. Alright, first screw out. Don't want to lose that. Get yourself one of these little magnetic trays. You'll be happy you did. There we go. Don't lose your bolts. Put it in the dish. There's our old feller. Pulled out of there. Alright, so here's the two of these side by side. You can tell this is the old one because it's about 400 degrees to the touch. Ah! Alright, so let me explain how one of these guys works, because it's kind of interesting. Right here, this is our throttle body. In here, you've got our butterfly valves. Those are actually what let the air into the engine, because you need air to make your engine work, okay? Problem is, you see here, these little valves are going to be closed when you're sitting at an idle, basically. Unless you're giving it throttle, those are going to be staying closed. They're not going to be opening. So what this guy does is it bypasses those. So when you're sitting at an idle, it's actually going to let air in still to maintain your idle. So it lets in just enough that you're good. Yeah, little nifty thing there. Oh, geez. All right, let's take that new one. Let's get this guy put in now. That's what I'll call tight enough. That ought to do. And as always, the torque spec for this one is power torque. Duh. And probably the most important step, the one I always forget, make sure you actually plug it in. Ta-da. Put this guy back on. Then don't leave your magnetic tray in your engine bay for the next owner. All right, let's see if we fixed it. I think we just fixed it. One thing that this has never done is when you turn that key and start it up, it's never once gone, whoa, like it did there, like every other car does. This one, it's always been blip, 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 and it's just right there. That at least made it sound like more like everybody else's vehicles. Guess we did something right there. Now I gotta go take it for a little test drive and make sure we fixed it. Now here's another spot where it drops dead normally. It's when I put it into drive. Didn't die. And that is a wrap on that short and sweet little project. Coming here in the next few weeks, I think we're gonna get into some really cool stuff. We're gonna get into motorcycles. So if you're here for motorcycles, get ready, because we're about to do them. And it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. We'll see you on the next one.